Oh my God, how does this keep happening? The Mets still haven't won a game in almost 2 weeks. They get swept by the Cubs, 11 straight losses, heading back to Citi Field. And I think this is actually, there's legitimate question whether or not Carlos Mendoza will be managing on Tuesday against the Minnesota Twins. They're playing horrible baseball. Nothing's going right. Nobody's hitting. The pitching's not even been that bad. It's been nobody's hitting. Defense has been okay. I don't know.
Good.
Everything that could go wrong with this team is going wrong, and it's starting to raise questions of were they ever good? Do we even know? I don't know. We'll talk about it in this episode. Before we do, make sure you guys are subscribed to Mets'd over on YouTube for the video version. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drops a rating, drops a review, download, subscribe. Big shout out to our members getting access to this one early Sunday game, rare one for the Mets. So this will be out like a full 6-7 hours before you guys normally get it. So if you're a member, shout out to you guys for that. James, besides defeated, sad, upset, any other feelings you got right now?
It started to bubble over into anger. Like, this weekend, I really started to tilt more so than I thought I ever could have on April 19th. I'm not going to tilt like that. I can't go that far in. But, like, now I'm like, how does this even get better? Like, I was kind of ready if we were going to squeeze this game out today, to get some notes together, be like, oh, this has to be how many games we have to win, this percentage to get to this spot, to this spot, to this spot. I can't even fucking think about that right now. Like, this is horrible. And the way the game ended was horrible with Craig Kimbrell throwing a wild pitch at Luis Torrens, maybe could have gotten down to block after you forced Dansby Swanson out when he couldn't get a bunt down to give the Cubs basically a free run to win the game. It was horrible in the ninth inning watching Michael Conforto hit a big double off of Devin Williams right after a seeing eye single. But it's really it's terrible to watch this lineup get themselves into semi-decent opportunities in the middle innings of this game when one more run would have iced this game.
Yeah, I mean, we were texting in a group chat, and you were like, one run is not going to be enough to win this game. You had that feeling from as soon as the time the Mets scored that first run, like, probably need two, especially with how this team goes and the luck's been going, and the fact that there's just such a lack of offense. It's like the way that they're performing offensively is offensive to the game of baseball.
Nice.
Like, this is not how any team of Major League hitters should do. There are bad lineups in Major League Baseball. You can go up and down. You can find really, really bad lineups. They churn out better at-bats right now than the Mets. The at-bats are uncompetitive. The bats are not, I don't want to say like inspired or motivated, but like the at-bats are just very much feeling like they're going through the motions. They seem lost at the plate. They seem like they have no answers. I'm looking for somebody to step up, and I still can't find one single person in this entire organization, basically.
No, and again, we'll talk about the late game situations in a little bit and all of the horrible late game situations that happened this weekend. But this game, to me, was lost in the sixth inning when, again, we were texting a group chat. After watching MJ Melendez hit that home run in the fifth, you're like, oh, Assad's run out.
He stepped up. That's actually, he's the only guy on this roster that's stepped up right now.
A couple big strikeouts later in the game. But, again, you felt like, wow, this guy has nothing left. You got him with the home run. Luis Torrens hits a leadoff double. You felt like any runs, and it's a knockout punch, you could actually finally get this monkey off your back. And then Torrens moves over to third base with a Carson Bench, ground ball up the middle.
And even then, moving him over, 1 out, 3-1 pitch, and we got a ground ball to second base, an opposite field ground ball. He technically moved the runner over, but on 3-1, you have to do
1-1.
It was 3-1.
No, Bench was 1-1 there.
No, to Torrens.
Oh, I'm talking about the sixth inning when Torrens hit the double.
I thought you were talking about when we got the double from, who got the double to lead off the inning?
Robert.
Luis Robert. And then, oh, God, that was so annoying.
So that's what I'm saying. I think the sixth inning is where I was the most upset of this game because Bench hits the ground ball up the middle, which to Carson Bench is basically like pulling a ball down the line. And then Bo Bichette and Francisco Lindor do up, and then you have a guy in third base and 1 out. And Bo Bichette a pitch is laid down, basically the exact same pitch that Nico Horner hit the game-winning sacrifice fly against. He just grounds it weakly to the shortstop. He lunges at it, and he doesn't go with it, which is the thing a Bo Bichette's supposed to be able to do is go with an outside pitch to go the other direction. And
one time he pulls it.
He reaches for it, and now I'm looking at this pitch here. The fact that it's the same pitch that Horner hit, I'm mad. And also, he fouls off a two-seamer that's up in the zone where it's just like, dude. And then Lindor comes out with 2 outs, and he strikes out on what? That was 3 pitches, 4 pitches? And right there,
competitive at bat.
I think right there is when I texted you guys. I think 1 run doesn't win you this game, and from that point on, it was only that double from Robert that you actually but that was actually later in the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When Torrens came up,
that was earlier in the game.
When did Torrens come up with the opportunity with 1 out, man on second?
1 out, man on second. Torrens. I don't even remember. Was that? Oh, that was a Beatty single, Semien bunt, Torrens ground ball at second base.
Yes.
That was the third inning.
That felt like it was late in the game. That's how tight these Mets games feel. Third inning feels like every single thing matters.
Well, this kind of felt like Game 7 as we were going through the later innings of this game.
Yeah.
Like the way, again, I don't think Carlos Mendoza until the end managed anything here, especially poorly.
But I don't think so either.
I think besides not thinking about walking Nico Horner, who's like probably the best situational hitter in baseball, who does not strike out. Again, he doesn't really hit fly. Whatever. But it felt like when Brazoban got that big out, and then Weaver got the big out, and Rayleigh got his outs before then, like you were like, oh yeah, come on, just 3 more outs. Like it felt so stupid being like, I want to win this game so badly.
Yeah, it did feel stupid. And the fact that it's, April 19th and we are talking about it felt like Game 7, that's an immense amount of pressure right now that we're feeling on this team. I'm sure the players are feeling based on how they're playing. I know I tweeted out yesterday about Bo Bichette that I'm losing my goddamn mind watching him play baseball right now. And Blue Jays fans came to my defense even. They were like, he plays a very, very, very frustrating brand of baseball where there is going to be moments where Bo Bichette will have 35 hits in a month, and you'll be like, oh my God, I love singles. And then there's going to be months like we've had so far in April where he has 0 plate discipline. Got to have the worst approach I've ever seen from a all-star caliber player ever. I don't know who swings like this ever. Like, I guess Michael Harris when Michael Harris was
PCA?
on. PCA, yeah, and those guys, what do they do that Bo Bichette doesn't do? Run the bases well and play phenomenal defense. I can't keep seeing these at-bats. We're giving away at-bats, really, at the end of the day. The Mets are giving away at-bats, and for the love of fucking God, hit the ball in the air. Somebody! They hit so many ground balls. I don't know. There's nobody in modern baseball who does this shit.
Could you even imagine that this is the Mets' longest losing streak, like, since we've been, like, not children?
Ever. Like, basically ever. Yeah, and, like, the other bad losing streaks came for what was historically the worst team in baseball ever until the White Sox chose to try and not win baseball games.
12. I'm counting 13 ground balls, 14 ground balls. His 14 ground balls today out of how many balls in play? 14 ground balls out of 27 balls in play. It's honestly not even as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I mean, they still don't hit the ball very well otherwise.
No, it's not. And again, Bo Bichette has been especially frustrated because he has come up with so many opportunities with men on base. He did put probably his best swing of the year on that line drive that PCA made a nice play on in center field.
PCA is phenomenal defensively. He's so good.
He's a great defensive player. I mean, he also really had some piss poor at-bats in this game as well. But it's just that play with Bo Bichette, you got one guy on. You got a guy on third base. You're up 1. You're trying to not land a knockout punch, but get a very important insurance run. To not be able to get that run in. That's the exact reason the Mets lost this game. And the Cubs, Nico Horner, is the reason they won this game.
Yeah, it's just the Mets play bad baseball. The brand of baseball that the New York Mets play is embarrassingly bad. They almost don't do a single thing right. They don't even steal bases anymore. They don't steal them well. They're getting caught stealing all the time.
It's hard to steal bases when every single base runner is precious.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just, they don't steal bases. When they do, they're getting thrown out. They almost don't take an extra base. Like, everything that we expected this team to do coming into the season, they almost haven't done outside of what? The first week of the season?
Well, that's the other thing right now, where you look at this team and you have a game where the top 3 hitters do not reach base.
It's horrible.
It's impossible to win a game like that when these guys can't win versus Lindor and Bo Bichette. If they're not producing right now without Juan Soto in the lineup, you have no chance to win a game. And you're seeing that fully blinking on display.
It's also unfair too, but it is what's happened. Carson Bench cannot be leading off right now.
No, it's obscene, and like there's no way this is a decision that came down from the top. Like,
it can't because then David Stearns, and I'll say this like looking into the camera, David Stearns is the dumbest person in baseball if Carson Bench is leading off by his choice. That's crazy.
But there's just no way, like especially when you watch this guy's play again, like if he's grinding out some decent plate appearances, like on Saturday when he has a 11 pitch at bat to start the game with James and Ty, like, yeah, that's cool. But then you watch him get burned by a 93-mile-an-hour fastball to end that at bat. You're like, what? Why the fuck is he in leadoff? And you have an opportunity in this game, which was at the 5th inning, when Bench comes up with a runner on 3rd and 2 outs, and it's like, oh, this is why you don't have him hitting 5th.
Yeah, I'm back in New Jersey. I was watching the game with my dad, and I go,
That was 2nd inning.
Yeah,
that was the same rally we were talking about before.
I love how we can, have the Mets lineup turn over to another guy who should be hitting 9th. Like that's always what I love about my lineups is that we give the guy who statistically is hitting the worst on the team the most at-bats possible.
You know what's really great too about having him hit leadoff is when you have to pinch hit for him against a lefty late in the game, and use Francisco Alvarez, who didn't have a great at bat, but then Luis Torrens comes up the following inning in a huge spot, and you're like, oh, I really wish I had Francisco Alvarez to pinch hit, but you burned your entire bench because you had to pinch hit for Carson Bench, and Tommy Pham is playing the outfield.
And then also, like, again, this is more on David Stearns probably, but we bring Sanger up, we have 3 catchers, and then we don't find a way to get Alvarez into the game. Then what is the point of carrying 3 catchers?
When there was Sanger getting the move up for Polanco, who finally went on the injured list, not even with a foot or an ankle or an Achilles. Wrist. They said his wrist looks like it'd been hit by a pitch. I was like, what are you, how's this happening?
That happen?
Oh my God. But again, like, why are we carrying a 3rd catcher? Why?
I have no clue. I
guess
have no fucking
to
clue.
use Alvarez in a spot like that in this game, but then you even, it's just, like, why can't that just not be Ryan Mauricio, someone who could play the field or do something? Like, I'll even say this, like, what I want to get to the late game situation now, but the defense has been actually phenomenal on this team recently. Besides that Torrens, I kind of back pick, maybe could have got down, but still a very bad pitch by Craig Kimbrell. Like, they actually turned some nice double plays in this game. Bo Bichette made some good plays at third. Lindor made a great game-saving play short before we wound up still losing the game. Semien made a nice play in that line drive. That was second or third. We really had the infield in, showing how desperate we were in this game from the start, showing the Cubs how much of losers we were. But that's something that is funny that actually has worked. But wow, the rest doesn't work at all.
Yeah, I mean they had that really, really slow turn to the double play early on in the game. But relatively speaking, I wasn't upset with the defense.
Bichette played the ball back.
No, that was Lindor stayed back on it. The weird transition to it was on the Seiya Suzuki ground ball early in the game. But they ended up playing fine defense. It wasn't the reason they lost. The reason why the Mets are losing is because they can't hit for shit. I mean, it's blatantly obvious.
People, life is expensive. So you should start looking at things that are unnecessarily expensive, like your phone bill, and say, is there a better option?
Mint Mobile is a better option than if you have other companies, especially when you have kids like me and you have everybody and their brother on your family plan. Mint Mobile will give you a cheaper option with the same coverage.
Yes, and some wireless bills are crazy with the bogus fees. And the free perks. They are not free perks. They cost you more in the long run. So just go to Mint Mobile, check out what they have to offer. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/territory. That's mintmobile.com/territory. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Carson Bench, I think, at leadoff is a very bad thing to start this thing out. And then all of a sudden, if Bichette and Lindor have games like this where they're invisible, you can't win. You just cannot win the game.
Did you see the rumor on Twitter that if you went on to ChatGPT and you asked them to make a lineup for the Mets game, it had the lineup that they had for, I think, the Friday night game against the Chicago, or Friday day game against the Cubs. He can't be hitting ChatGPT, right? That's got to be like a glitch in the system.
That has to be a glitch in the system. That is a great coincidence, but we can't take that one home with us. But I was so mad watching that 10th inning. I was unbelievably mad.
Well, because there's a couple different things. One, Craig Kimbrell doesn't deserve a roster spot.
No, but at this point, like, we burned out everyone else. Like, he kind of had to pitch at that point.
Give me Jonathan Pintaro. I don't know. Give me anybody.
I would rather have Pintaro out there. Yeah, for sure.
There's, you know what? Who I might consider having Alex Carrillo. At least throws 100. Like, Craig Kimbrell's got nothing left in the tank anymore. Shouldn't be on a competitive baseball team. Should be pitching for the White Sox in their bullpen. And then on top of the wild pitch, when Nico Horner comes to the plate, we pitch to him. You want to basically, like, in that situation, the Mets either need an infield pop-up or a strikeout. There's anything else that happens, you pretty much lose, especially with PCA on third base. The fact that he's so fast, he probably just goes on contact if it's a ground ball. Nico Horner doesn't strike out at all and also rarely pops up. So doesn't feel like the greatest of matchups. Intentionally walk him. Then the conversation is, well, they'll probably steal second. Okay, intentionally walk the next guy. Then
just get a force everywhere.
Get a force everywhere at that point. It felt these were one of those classic Carlos Mendoza moments where it felt like he was unbelievably shocked by the situation that was at hand, and he was unprepared to make any sort of decision, and then all of a sudden the game was happening.
And then even just, again, flay it out a litally bit more. Like, let's say you intentionally walk the next two hitters, Horner and Bush. Then Bregman comes up, who's theoretically a better matchup for the right-handed Craig Kimbrell anyway. And then the fourth spot in the order, Ian Happ, was out of the game. Actually, that was the pitcher spot. So then when you were going to get, I think probably Carson Kelly. Was Carson Kelly used? Carson Kelly was used. Ballesteros was used. Kingery, Shaw, Conforto. So who's ever the last guy in the Cubs bench you would have gotten, possibly, even if you could have gotten Bregman to a force.
Kingery got into this game, so then they had
Kingery
nobody.
Was a pinch runner.
They had nobody. That's all their bench guys.
No. Did I just lay 4 bench guys? Kingery,
you did.
Thielbar, Shaw, Conforto. Wow, yeah. So
and Kelly.
So you could have done double intentional walks to get.
Or they would
Bregman
have had
to the
Miguel
plate.
Amaya, maybe, I think, actually.
Oh, they have a third catcher on this roster? Yeah, Miguel Amaya didn't. Yep, you're right. So, but again, you could have gotten a situation where you had the force at any base with Alex Bregman, who, again, great situational hitter, really good chance that he also just hits a sac fly because he's very hard to strike out as well. And then you could have possibly, if you get to that, have a 2-out situation with the last player on the roster. But no, you put Nico Horner as the best situational hitter in baseball. Always comes, God.
And in the nightmare scenario of doing the intentional walk, the bases loaded, Alex Bregman hits a hard ground ball to shortstop. It's a double play and the inning's over. So,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Nico Horner hits a hard ground ball to shortstop. The game's probably still over, except we lose. So it was like you had 7 different trees that you could have gone and thought processes, and you picked the one that made the least sense.
And I misspoke before saying that Horner and Bichette got the same pitch. Bichette's was a slider, but still in the zone. They were in the same location, but Horner's was a fastball, which, again, in a situation where you need a strikeout or a pop-up, you throw a fastball low and middle.
91.
That's just, again, probably not a pitch that was executed, but that's because the wrong guys didn't try and execute the pitch. Not that anyone else could have come in, but this also reminds me of the decision that happened on Saturday that pissed me off the most, where whatever you thought about Freddie Peralta and how poorly he pitched to start that 6th inning, nibbling and walking 2 guys in a row, seemed like he tried to be really careful with Happ because Happ had burned him specifically earlier in the game. And Freddie really knows a lot of these Cubs hitters. He's faced them a lot through his career. But, and again, Suzuki, another really good hitter. But Freddie got very cute towards the end of that bat, not wanting to challenge him with a fastball. Completely afraid to do it, which some piece of me I understand that, some piece of me I don't understand that. You have an opportunity where, again, talk about decision trees. You could have Freddie Peralta, who is running out of gas, but still had objectively a good game. Got himself into trouble, and there was 2 outs and nobody on by walking the 2 best hitters in the Cubs lineup, and Happ and Suzuki, short 2 of the 3 with Horner in there. So you can decide, do I want Freddie Peralta, my proverbial ace, theoretically.
Top 30 pitcher in the game.
Yes, fringy top 25, top 30 pitcher in the game. Do I want him to face Mo Ballesteros, a left-handed rookie, who's a great hitter, but again, left-handed rookie, but he's kind of on fumes? Or do I want to bring in a different right-handed pitcher? I don't know if Brazoban would have been available in this game, but I think Weaver was definitely available in this game. Do I want to bring in a right-handed pitcher to, again, face the lefty Ballesteros? Or do I want to bring in my lefty Raley, knowing that Carson Kelly's on their bench? Because, again, they're carrying they're low-key carrying 3 catchers.
I mean, yeah, Ballesteros could catch if they need him to, but
Kelly was hitting for Ballesteros, so again, you're burning both guys. Maya's still in the game, whatever. But you know that, I think you know that there's an all-time lefty masher that's sitting on the bench there for when you're going to bring a lefty in. So those are 3 decisions to make, and I think, again, of all of the choices, definitely made my least favorite one, as Mark has a coughing attack.
Yeah, I was sick to my stomach thinking about that decision tree that Carlos Mendoza went through. Carson Kelly, for a while, was only in the majors because he could hit a lefty. Like last year, he had a pop-off moment where it was like, oh, I'm a good catcher again. Like this is a former top prospect, actually involved with Luke Weaver in a trade for Paul Goldschmidt, which is kind of would have been full circle there. I don't understand, again, the thought process where Carlos Mendoza constantly, and we've seen this happen throughout his tenure, constantly gets outmanaged by whoever he's going up against with these exact decisions of the matchups, playing the matchups. He never wins it. He never makes the right decision there. And I think that I joked about it with you, how this was like very Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball reminiscent, where Mattingly used to like pull Kershaw because like a righty was coming up and then bring in like a bullpen arm from the Dodgers. Like, you have one of the all-time great pitchers and you're going to the bullpen. You're saying you trust them over Clayton Kershaw? Like, sometimes we're overthinking. This was one of those moments where Mendoza actually could have done his classic sit back and let the game happen, and he did too much. He can't press the right button. If there was a walk across the street sign, he would get hit by a car.
But this is also us nitpicking because of how bad this all is. Like, objectively, like, Brooks Raley has been one of the Mets' best relievers since last year. He actually didn't give up a home run all of last year. I saw that.
He hadn't
fact
given up a home run since 2023.
Well, he missed all 2024, so I think that one makes that stat even look crazier. But sure, like, he should be able to get Carson Kelly out. But again, when you think about the decision tree, and Carson Kelly, the guy who's on the bench, for his career, is 100 points better hit against lefties than he is just as his neutral hitter. For 825 OPS career against lefties, 650 against righties. Like, he's blatantly on this team to come in when you bring the left-handed reliever in for Mo Ballesteros, who's a lefty that they don't let face lefties. Like, maybe he thought it would be Matt Shaw, and they didn't think they would actually go to the other catcher. Like, maybe that was the thinking. But again, that's
Carlos
the other manager.
Yeah, that's Carlos Mendoza going, well, I wouldn't make this decision, which is exactly what he should be not thinking. He should be like, what wouldn't I do? And that's the right decision.
And that's the other manager, Craig Counsell, the other team being like, oh, here's my kill shot. Here's my trump card. Carlos Mendoza being like, what? Like, that's the joke. That was the joke going into the tournament about Illinois basketball, that they played like ethical hoops because they had on KenPom, they had like the lowest like steal rate and lowest foul rate in all of the NCAA. It's like, oh yeah, they just go out there and let's play, boys.
Yeah, he's never prepared. He's never ready.
And again, like, it sucks piling on him over and over again, but wow.
I don't even care.
It's just, something happens every single day where I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Every time.
The one thing I'll say to his defense is the players are not hitting. So
absolutely, this starts with the players. David Stearns is not without blame for the situation, but there's something that we can see blatantly every single day where I'm like, oh, that's a decision I think a different manager would make very differently.
Support for today's episode comes from Square, and they've got big news. During Square's biannual releases event, they launched a wave of innovative new tools to help local businesses run faster, smarter, and more profitably. Square is awesome around Orlando, where AJ and I live. We go to the farmers markets around town. I go to the one near Lake Eola. It's awesome. I use Square to pay with my phone. I get the receipt right away. It's great.
And so many businesses, not just small businesses, use this. So many restaurants and businesses I walk into, not only in Orlando, but all over the country, have these. And you just use your credit card, pops out a receipt, emails it right to you. It's so fast. It's so efficient. It's so hassle-free. It's one of the great things that you have going.
Square launched its most powerful tools yet, designed to give local businesses a competitive edge without the complexity. If you're ready to sell smarter, run faster, and stress less right now, you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/foul. That's square.com/go/FOUL. Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today.
Yes, where he has an opportunity to make a move to put the Mets in an advantageous situation, or at least the smartest situation, and he does not do that, which is frustrating. And then it's very similar to like these guys just aren't ready to play when they show up to the ballpark. The fact that, get ready for this, since we hit a walk-off off of Paul Sewald, Ronnie Mauricio, who I think got to play one start after that, and then they said go back down to the minors, the Mets have scored 2 runs, 1 run, 0, 6 against the A's. Hot day. Nice warm day on that Saturday.
Well, there's something about the 2 times the Mets offense has come alive in the last week and a half. Both times it was after Kodai Sanga dug them a huge hole. Like, why is that? Why do we need to be losing by a lot to actually start to hit?
And then 0, 0, 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. It's almost impossible to believe how little runs the Mets have scored. And that 6, like you said, it was kind of by stroke of miracle at that point.
And again, this happened again on Friday. We're going to talk some shit about Sanga right now?
Whoo, I am done. Okay, as much like I want Mendoza fired. We know this. We know that. I'm done with Kodai Sanga. It's over. I'm out. I have no more faith in him.
It's just, it seems like, and then to have the weird comments he had after the game about like if things would have went better, things actually would have gone great. Like,
yeah, fucking if the queen had balls, she'd be king. Like, what are we talking about? If my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike.
There you go, 2 wheels, not 3. Make sure you get
wheels.
that one right.
Yeah.
But the frustrating thing too is like when you look at the end of this game, you look at Kodai's last few starts, his average velocity has like jumped back up to where it seems like it's in line with a few years ago. And I was talking to our guy Rob about this earlier today because like his velocity looks fine, like the stuff looks fine. Like, why isn't he getting people out? And it's because Kodai Sanga, one,
sucks.
It sucks because he doesn't trust his velocity enough right now, or the hard stuff enough to get ahead in the count. Like what made him good in 2023. He's falling behind. Then he keeps trying to throw the fucking ghost fork in the zone, which is so stupid. But on top of that, the sustaining of velocity he's getting destroyed on. Like in this game, he gave up the huge home run to Nico Horner, 94.1 mile an hour fastball, the slowest fastball he threw that game. Right after that, next fastball he threw was back. It was the hardest he threw that game, about 98 miles an hour. So all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, now he can throw really hard again. Then when he throws extra hard, he loses the command. Even the home run he gave up to Mo Ballesteros, it was an 87 mile an hour cutter, 88 mile an hour cutter. It was one of the slowest ones he threw in that game. So it's a combination of everything being bad for Kodai Sanga right now. He doesn't have the 6-day excuse built in. He doesn't even have the velocity excuse built in anymore because the average velocity is the same. It's just about sustaining it into and out of the innings. It's just he's a complete fucking mess. And
no fucking dog on that guy.
No, I thought he'd have so much dog. The fact that he came up through the Japanese Instructional League, it really seemed like there would be a lot of dog here.
He is like he's like a righty Steven Matz in a way, where it's like this guy's got to be coddled and coddled and coddled.
Matz looks great this year.
Yeah, it took him 11 years to get there.
Also, the Rockies are about to take a series from the Dodgers.
I know, shit's insane.
We have no excuse for not, like, it's gotten to the point where it's impressive to lose this many games like this way in a row.
This early too is crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
Like everybody gets hot and cold early in the season. We've only been cold basically, and it does track exactly with Juan Soto.
Yeah, it really does. Honestly, this all started when he left.
It's almost like they like look around every day and they're like, how are we gonna score? Like without Juan Soto, what do we do here? It feels like there's a lot of looking around, hoping that somebody else will be that guy, and no one's being that guy. Back to Kodai Sanga real quick. He's not on the Mets, right? Next year, like his contract's up.
No, he has one more year of the contract.
God.
I mean, I just make him a reliever at this point. Who cares?
I don't even know if I want him in the bullpen.
I'll take him in the bullpen right now. Whatever. I would have rather him pitching the 10th inning instead of Kimbrel.
That's true. All right, fair. I'll give you that one.
And then again, as everything happened between Friday, Saturday, into Sunday, we get the strange late-night report that, Tobias Myers is starting. And then you get the weird comment from David Peterson. Yeah, I just found out.
Yeah.
Very, very strange situation. I think is underscoring what we've kind of been alluding to for the last week and a half now. That seems like there is a massive, monstrous, cavernous disconnect between David Stearns and Carlos Mendoza. It seems like those are two people that don't like each other anymore.
Yeah, at least when there was a massive disconnect previously between Billy Epler and Buck Showalter, Mets were winning games and like still relatively playing well. There's a disconnect now where it's like this is one of the worst teams in baseball statistically across the board.
It also definitely seems like a situation where Stearns definitely made that call, I think, specifically.
Had to have, right?
I want this guy, my guy Myers, in the rotation instead of this guy, the guy Peterson. I think that seemingly would happen here. But also then the way it comes out immediately to Will Salmon, who this past week has written, and also Tim Britton, a lot of articles in the defense of Carlos Mendoza, it feels like now, again, there is this seemingly growing more and more apparent public dispute between the two. And it's just, why do we always have some kind of issue with the people in the building?
I can tell you why. We chose to keep a lame duck manager. We kind of talked about this, why he had to be fired at the end of last season, even though it might have been unfair given what had gone on. I know at the end of the season I wanted my rant that he can't come back. But like it probably would have been unfair. But at the same time, managers on expiring contracts, that typically doesn't happen. That's not the greatest vote of confidence that he's still on the expiring contract going into the season.
Well, Tim wrote a great article about that. That's happened a lot. It happened, 3 different times with Terry Collins as well?
Yeah, and I mean, those Mets teams weren't necessarily the pinnacle of sustainability by any means. No. So, like, I think that Mendoza being a lame duck manager coming in, the fact that everyone around him was fired or not brought back is pretty astounding. This is a weird dynamic that I think there is nobody to blame for the dynamic besides David Stearns. He has created this dynamic. He is the enabler of this.
For sure, unless, and this is something we thought could have been possible last time, he may have wanted him fired. Maybe someone else didn't want him fired. Like we just don't know at the end of the day if there was true final say, because all of the other moves that happened coaching-wise this offseason would have told you, like, oh, it doesn't seem like this guy's team anymore. And it does feel like right now, I mean, doesn't seem like there's a lot of synergy in this coaching staff. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of synergy in this clubhouse. And that's the thing where you got rid of pillars of this organization. And not only Pete and Nimmo and even Jeff McNeil, but a guy like Jeremy Hefner, who was a very steadying force.
And this is nothing against Justin Willard. They're pitching well.
Not at all. Like, it's the thing where Jeremy Hefner was here before Steve Cohen bought the team.
Yeah.
But it's just like, again, these are pillars of an organization, of a clubhouse, of process, of all these things. Again, I don't think it was the wrong decision to get rid of Jeremy Hefner. Mark Baumann let us all know how great the Braves been pitching with Hefner there. He taught Robert Suarez a cutter. Have you seen that thing?
Yeah, I mean, it moves.
It's awesome.
Crazy.
That's a sick pitch. But then to keep Mendoza, it's like, all right, that means they want some steadying force. Whether it be Mendoza, Lindor, and Soto. Now Soto's injured. He hasn't even been with the team during this whole stretch, which is, does that stand out to you?
I don't think so, because
I don't know what the normal thing is with like an injury that's like semi-serious like this.
I also think for someone who is going to probably like be doing, because he's not going to go get rehab games, obviously. I think this is his way where like he can guarantee he gets in his work on his time.
Yeah.
And if he's that big of a leader, I guess it would be weird. But we also know that, like, I mean, Soto's only been on this team for like a year more than most of the guys.
Well, again, that's also why we've talked about all these good leadership, good clubhouse guys that Mets seemed like intentionally they were bringing in the offseason, like with Polanco and Bichette and Semien. Well, you can't be a leader if you play like shit.
Yeah, if you're statistically some of the worst players in the league right now.
So then again, this all comes back to Francisco Lindor to be a leader, and he's been the most lackadaisical he's been in his Mets tenure. This is a very poor reflection on him too. This is a poor reflection on a lot of different people, but like between Stearns, Mendoza, Lindor, it's like these are bad reflections of the guys that were supposed to be leading this organization into a new frontier, into a new era, and the opposite's happening.
Oh, there's nobody safe. The one guy that's safe is Juan Soto. I won't say a bad word about that guy. He's our king. But like every single other person in this organization right now, it's a bad look. It's a bad feeling. There's a bad vibe. I never thought I would say this about
And MJ Melendez.
And you know what? Francisco Alvarez. I love Francisco. And Luis Robert.
I'll just say this: Wasco Brazoban.
And Huascar Bra. God, that guy.
And awesome.
Talk about the opposite of Kodai Sanga. The biggest fucking balls on that dude. It's the South Park meme again, where they put their balls in the microwave.
It's
like, just absolutely massive. And he just continues to get big outs every time he's called upon. But as an organization, it feels like that there's a vacuum of leadership. There's nothing. There's no way in or out to get leadership right now.
And I like that we're seeing finally a little bit more candor from these players and Carlos Mendoza after the games, being like, this is not acceptable, this is not okay. But like, I don't know how that kind of stuff's communicated in that room. I don't know if there's enough rah-rah energy on this team to really shake something loose and have like a really crazy team meeting. Like, who starts that meeting? It has to be Lindor.
Yeah, it would have to be him.
It has to be him, but like, are we not? Have we already done it? We just haven't heard about it? Like, I like the tweet from Abby Mastracco from Daily News that the Mets were blasting rap music before the game, trying to get themselves going.
I mean, that's
good try.
Like, that's, man. Good, yeah, good try. But like, we're trying to find, this team's trying to find a way to get going. You're a professional baseball player. This is your job. Show up ready to play. You shouldn't.
Sometimes you got to find something extra, and you got to try to find something extra.
Yeah, they're trying. I mean, they even shout out them. They had a home run celebration for the first time, it feels like, in a couple years with the sledgehammer. I
thought home runs.
Yeah, just don't hit many home runs, so that's the issue. It's hard to hit home runs when you don't hit the ball in the air.
The whole thing is really bad. And I also like that after the game, Devin Williams came out to the defense of his manager. So it's nice to publicly at least have the guys back where he's like, it's on us. Like, Mendoza doesn't swing a bat. He doesn't throw a ball. Like, we've been in a lot of these games. These games have been close, and that's been true. We keep saying that. Like, Mets, outside of a few games in Los Angeles and Friday in Chicago, Mets are not getting blown out. These are 50-50 games in the 6th, 7th, 8th innings during this whole losing streak.
Remember in our watchability video on the windup, I was talking about like how the Mets and the Reds are relatively playing the same baseball, but what the difference is. I heard a stat today, said it on the broadcast. The Reds are 10-0 in one-run games this year. That's unbelievable. Could you imagine having that luck right now?
Yeah, right. Oh, even like Emilio Pagan's not available. Tony Santillan comes in, slams the door for them on Saturday. It's like it's a very different vibe. But
are the New York Mets too entitled? Thoughts?
I mean, is that the word you'd use?
I don't know if that's the word I would use. That's more of a joke. But like, there is a hunger missing from this team. I think that's something safe to say, right?
I mean, we talked about this a little bit. I gave my quote from the Prince. Like, when you have a team of martyrs like this, like, are you playing for yourselves? Are you playing for the organization? Again, you got rid of pillars of leadership, whether it be some of the players or some coaches, and they've not been unified. And it was really up to Mendoza, Lindor, and Stearns to unify these guys as quick as possible. And maybe
they have not.
They have maybe seems like have done the opposite. Like, Mendoza even deserves the most slack out of that trio for not unifying this group because, I mean, he has a lot of other things on his plate. I know Soto and Lindor have other things on their plate. Soto was at the World Baseball Classic. Lindor was there all of spring training.
Yeah.
This is the most angry I've been at him in the whole history of this podcast.
I know you sent me some stuff the other night. I will not share with the podcast, but I was like, whoa, James, what happened? But I also think that was, we were feeling good about the Knicks win too.
Yeah, it was a few libations in there. Watching a team play together.
Talk about a team that plays together that's got electric vibes. I fucking love the Knicks.
It was also so crazy to see a Knicks playoff game not by Tom Thibodeau. So, like, the guys actually got breaks. Jordan Clarkson was hooping in the second quarter. Like,
Carl Towns was cold to start the game, got a little breather, and then started playing good hoops. It's like, wow. It's crazy what, in anything, a little energy could bring.
I was watching at a bar in Mets'd. I was with an old-timer, like an old-timer Knicks fan.
Willis Reed Knicks?
We were talking about Cat, and he was cracking me up.
Oh, there's no shot that the old-timers
It was like, how
Cat.
does this guy wind up on the ground every play? He was just fun.
Honestly, great question.
But again, back to the Mets. Sorry, quick Knicks minute there. Should we do the Knicks corner as as a joke with Zach Lowe and Sean Bennis?
Yeah,
we should do the Knicks corner. I don't know how we're gonna get through these next few weeks of this podcast, but
I mean, when's the next time the Mets win a game? At earliest, it's after 4:20. So
I mean, hopefully, yeah. The Knicks. I mean, Monday's Knicks again. So yeah.
Oh, Mets should celebrate 4:20 hard. Maybe that's what they need.
They asked actually for Cisco Lindor after the game. I don't think that's what they need. They need the opposite of that.
They need some something, man. I don't know.
They asked for Cisco Lindor, but if you thought that Juan Soto coming back would help, you'd be like, yeah, of course it would help, but like we can't throw everything on him. Like he can't be the savior. It's like
he is though. That's what he's looked at.
Things gonna change a lot, but it's this is really rough.
Ron and Gary too are getting annoyed this weekend, and I'm happy to hear that they're publicly and out loud, like kind of having all the same feelings that we are as fans of like, if you really listen to the stuff that they say, the little comments, the slight jabs that they're taking, everybody sees it. Everybody knows what's going on with this team. Everyone knows what the problems are. Everyone knows what the issues are. It's gotta turn the page at some point. I mean, the Mets aren't even walking. They have like one of the lowest on base percentages in the league for a team that's supposed to be.
Why would you throw this team a ball?
Exactly.
No one's on base. There's no stressful pitches for the other pitcher.
No, I know. No one's happier right now than I think Mr. Eric Chavez.
Why do we keep saying his name? Stop saying his name. We can't talk about him anymore. Also, Mendoza said that. I'm scrolling through the press conference clips from after the game. He said they did not even consider intentionally walking Nico Horner.
How do you not even? So that says, tell me if I'm wrong, James. We did not even consider it means that you didn't even think about it, which means that it was never a thought that crossed your mind, which means that was the first time that you thought about an intentional walk ever to Nico Horner there.
No, the rest of his answer, I think they thought about it, but he said they didn't consider it, like they didn't think it was actually a reasonable option. In that situation, especially with Horner, you put them at first base, they're going to take second. There's a contact situation there when they got some of their best hitters coming up after that. So I guess what they said is that they would have rather tried to strike out Nico Horner, as one of the lowest strikeout rates in the league, instead of
a single-digit strikeout rate.
Instead of double walking to try and get to Bregman and hope you get a ground ball. A guy who does hit a good few ground balls.
And he's not fast.
No, not fast at all. It's really bad.
That's, what was it, 2 + 2 = 5, it kind of feels like there.
Again, if you want to get like shreds of positivity, I thought Tobias Myers looked great.
Yeah, like stretch him out. He's in this rotation. I think he did nothing that shows me he shouldn't be. He's better than Kodai Sanga. He's better than David Peterson.
Friday they hit.
Yeah.
Semi's bat woke up a little bit this series.
Tiny bit. Like it's still, as if you're getting punched by your little brother, but like it's at least he's throwing punches.
And he's still playing great defense. Like whatever, let him hit ninth. I guess eighth because Carson Bench has to go back to hitting.
Carson
ninth.
Bench has to hit ninth.
I guess unless they don't hit him ninth.
And we also, if when Juan Soto comes back, there is a real conversation about him going down.
Yeah, I think that's also incredibly fair after what this happened. I mean, the swing is abominable.
It's bad.
I think everyone's starting to realize it too. Again, Jared Seidler, Baseball Perspectives, for all you kids out there, he was the first one to put that on all of our radars. And now when we dug through the advanced stats about it last time, it's like no one in baseball is making contact with the ball the way that Carson Bench is. That's a bad thing.
Like you said, when he hits a ball up the middle, it feels like he's pulling it.
I couldn't believe he hit that ball up the middle. Also, that was a miracle in that situation. We need to move that runner over so bad. I could not believe he actually pulled that off.
This team is unbelievable.
This team is making me so mad. I mean, Brett Baty drew a walk and he broke the 0 for 22. Cool.
Let him get hot. Mark Vientos hit an impressive home run, but my dad's like, this is what he does. Every 10 games, he hits a big home run, makes you think, is this it? And then he goes ice cold again. So
he put a nice little picture of him hitting the home run on Instagram too.
Oh, good. That's nice.
And then in the game, in the 10th inning, leading off on Sunday, he pops up instantly, slams his bat, breaks his bat in the ground. Let's let everyone know how mad he is, but God damn, dude.
There was a player that used to do that on this team that people hated. So
just be better. Just someone on the team. These guys have to be better. Like there's no excuses. It's just a loser attitude. It's a loser energy in this team right now. And you're letting the season slip away from you. It's not even April 20th yet.
Yeah, we're getting into a dangerous spot where, even though it's early, there are insurmountable comebacks, and the Mets will have to play if they keep this up at a pace where they're going to have to be like
90-win team.
Yeah, a 90-win team
Yeah,
to make the
95-win
playoffs.
team.
Yeah, they're going to have to win like 75% of their games moving out.
This is what happened this is exactly what happened last year to the Orioles.
Yeah.
And
the Braves.
And the Braves, yeah. I mean, the Braves, they kind of got more bombarded by the injuries. They also played horribly. The Orioles, they were all there. They just sucked.
Yeah.
They just were bad. Oh, God, I'm annoyed. I'm so mad.
Should we do our series preview?
Yeah, series preview, then pray Frankie got us with something and send you guys out of here. Oh, my God. Series preview against the surging Twins. I think the Twins are still in first place at the time of recording this.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say anything bad about any teams anymore, so.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean, who would say anything bad about originally?
Just every team in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to say anything bad about these teams because the Mets are worse than all of them right now.
Exactly. They're so bad.
Oh, the Twins actually have lost 4 in a row heading into the series. Just got swept by the Reds. So they've drifted back to third place, 500 team. So this rubber meets the road, 4 loss in a row versus 11. But
someone's losing streak ends. Who will it be?
So Tuesday night, we have a monster ace-off. Nolan McLean versus Mick Abel.
Monster ace-off in the freezing cold that it's going to be at Citi Field. I think the high that day is like in the low 40s. And we know Citi Field plays about 10 degrees colder, so I was really looking forward to hopefully having like a nice $5 Tuesday. I don't think I'm going to be at that one. It's going to be a little cold.
I'm going to the game on Wednesday. We're going to get Clay Holmes versus former Met revenge game, Simeon Woods Richardson.
Ace-off.
And then Thursday, Kodai Sanga versus Joe Ryan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one feels like it's going to be ugly.
I'm checking the weather now. Citi Field on Wednesday. I'm definitely going to that game. How cool is
I hope it's nicer. I'd like to go.
Yeah, I mean, Tuesday is the game to go to, but if it's going to be that cold, no way. But, I mean, it seems like Tuesday high is 52. It'll be 48 first pitch. Wednesday it'll be 53 at first pitch. That's not terrible. We could deal with that.
You can think about that one.
And then Thursday, back to 70. But talking about this Twins team, they kind of hit, but it doesn't seem like they should. They, again, are a team that, on paper, has one of the worst bullpens in baseball. And a lot of this rotation isn't very good. We're definitely getting, currently as constructed, their 2 best with Joe Ryan, who's just a perpetually very good pitcher. He's come out of the gate a little slow after some injury problems spring training. And then Mick Abel. Mick Abel's been a menace his last few starts.
No love for my guy, Taj Bradley.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Taj. Yeah, Taj has been really good. All right, we're missing him too. Whatever, take that. But Mick Abel's coming off his last 2 starts, 16 innings. No, not 16 innings. 13 innings, 16 strikeouts, no earned.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's actually exactly what I want the Mets to face right now.
Yeah.
When they can't hit Javier fucking Assad.
Dude, Javier Assad, nothing.
That guy.
James and Tyon, it was at least Javier Assad. He moves the ball around. The command is still quite good. He's annoying. James and Tyon has nothing left. I'm impressed that he's out there pitching.
Burger. Yeah.
Every fifth day, I can't believe he's doing that. The Mets are swinging through 93-mile-an-hour fastballs. But McAble gets you up to like 95, 96, high in the zone, break off 3 different breaking balls, a curveball, sweeper, and a slider, decent changeup. Like he's kind of nasty, but sometimes he can lose the zone, but that doesn't matter to the Mets because they'll swing out if it's out of the zone.
Oh yeah, I mean they'll put up at bats. What was it on Saturday? What was the game where in the last inning I was like, "What, the Mets have a reservation to catch?"
That was yesterday. The quickest ninth inning of all time again.
Again, some of the worst at bats ever at the end of a game.
No, it's horrible. And then Simeon Woods Richardson. You want to talk about pitcher who has nothing? This is the guy. You have to get fat on Simeon Woods Richardson. There's no reason not to. This guy has a 6 ERA. Every single year he gets blown up. His whip is almost 2 right now. He's striking out like 5 batters per 9 innings for my K through 9 people. Oh. It's crazy how little he has and how he keeps getting these chances in this rotation. I guess he eats a lot of innings. His ERA the last 2 years has wound up just above 4, so I guess that's a fine 5, but you got to do something. You just got to do something against this team.
Troy Snicker and whoever else is involved in the hitting stuff, whatever it is, take it, crumple it up, throw it away. It's bad. Change it up. We got to make a change. We can't keep trying the same thing over and over again.
So do you know what the Rays did to Noah Schultz in his debut the other day?
What'd they do?
The first 5 hitters of the game all took at least the first 2 pitches.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Interesting.
And then after that, 12 of the final 13 hitters he faced got a first pitch strike. Cool stuff. Cool. But again, cool. That's a team that's trying really hard playing with a guy who they know would be jacked up for his debut, who's had trouble finding the zone. I'm not saying that specifically about what the Mets should be doing right now, but especially against a guy like Mick Abel. Like he has had problems in the past in the strike zone. He hasn't in his last 2 starts, but if you're getting that fastball on top of the zone early, find a way to take that and then find a way to make him come in the zone with that pitch with you because you can hit it. You might miss it. It's a good pitch, but like he's a guy who can kind of get knocked off his rocker, and he has in the past.
I'd love to see a plan from the Mets at the plate, and I'd love to see them look to drive the baseball. Those are the 2 things I'm looking for in this series. Wins or losses, at this point, they're probably going to lose. But, like...
When do you think they win a game? I didn't think they'd find a way to get swept this series, too. I thought they'd lose the series, but I thought they'd find a way to win one.
No, I thought they were going to get swept. I didn't actually think there was a shot they were winning these games. Tuesday's their best chance. If they don't win Tuesday, it's probably Friday.
I think Wednesday's a good chance. Holmes versus Woods Richardson.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Like Joe Ryan.
He throws strikes?
Woods Richardson, kind of, sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got the good splitter, right? So it's probably going to be dancing.
Well, the splitter hasn't been as good this year. He's going back to the slider against the righties, but it's a lot of literally 92.5-mile-an-hour fastballs to lefties. At that righties too. It's 50% of pitches.
If only I had an example of the Mets not hitting 92-mile-an-hour fastballs right now. I wonder what it could be. Weekend.
Carson Bench can't hit leadoff, but like God,
can't.
Why are we doing this to him? It's like a humiliation ritual.
It really is. It's like
it's terrible
at this point.
Like I tweeted about it, and people were like, "Who else should even be there? No one can hit." I was like,
Lindor.
On a neutral situation, he's probably right now the worst or second worst hitter in this lineup. Still, at the end, even as bad as these guys have all have been.
Oh, he's the worst hitter in this lineup right now.
But Terens, maybe.
Well, he doesn't play every day.
Yeah, this lineup like today, Tyrone Taylor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of guys that physically played today, yes, of course, I would choose Carson Bench over those guys. But, I mean, there's just not even hard contact being made by him.
Like, I don't know what's going on. That plane's got to be dead silent.
It's going to be very, very quiet.
They said after the game Saturday, I think I read in Will's article that came out this morning or late last night about Tobias Myers, that the block room was silent. All you heard was cleats being scraped.
That's good. That's really, really good on April 18th. I'm glad this team has a lot of leadership, both from the player standpoint, management, front office, everything. Really well put together org.
This is terrible right now. This is shockingly bad.
We got Frankie Peppers?
I'm hoping. I kind of need Frankie right now. I mean, again, we won't chastise him. We got into this episode pretty early. Do we have Frankie? We do have Frankie. Thank you.
Thank God. And then I will ask you the final question, which will be the final question until it happens.
The final question. Okay, I'm excited for the final question. Can we get the final question sponsored? Anybody out there want to sponsor the final question?
The final question.
We'll do that every
asking James a question.
Here comes Frankie.
Gentlemen, this is Frankie Peppers. How you doing? I have a plan to make this team better. All right.
Pulling out the bolognese.
Just hear me out. We take Carlos Mendoza, Devin Williams, Mark Vientos, and we take them to the Bean in downtown Chicago. We open the door, we put them in the Bean, and then we close the Bean.
That's all that was it from Frankie?
That was such a good dramatic end of just because of my low battery mode. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, I thought that was the end of it. That's an insane way for Frankie to end this message. Close the Bean.
And then we just go back to New York, and we're like, I don't know where my players went. I don't know who's here. We need a new manager and some other people. And then I think we can finally start to win some games. So let me know if that works for you boys, because if so, I am going to pitch it to the team over an email that I'll write them. Thanks, boys. Just go talk to someone you love. Let's go, Mets.
Go talk to someone you love.
I didn't even know the Bean had a door.
I don't think it does. I think that's a joke.
You know the fun fact, since we're 45 minutes in, you know the guy who created the Bean, like, absolutely hates that, like, it's being called the Bean because I think it has a different name. It drives him fucking insane that people call it the Bean. And then also, I think he's the guy who bought the copyright to, like, the ultimate true black.
Do you know what this is called?
It's called, like, the Gateway to Chicago or something.
Cloudgate.
Cloudgate. Okay, that's an even worse name. But yeah, it drives him nuts that people call it the Bean. But he also is like a dick, and he bought, like, the right to, like, the true color of black.
That's awesome.
So, like, if you want to use the true color of black, you technically have to pay him or something like that. Kind of an evil genius. I wish the Mets had some of that.
Yeah, right. The Mets could use that guy in the front office right now.
Mets need to plot. We need a little more plotting going on.
Lack of plotting right now.
Lack of plotting. All right, the final question. Is Carlos Mendoza the manager on April 21st for the New York Mets against the Minnesota Twins?
I think he is, but I think basically unless this team has an 8-1 homestand, if the Mets are still well under 500, I'll give you the date. I'll give you the firing date, actually.
I think the over-under is May 1st right now.
I think it's going to be the off day of May 7th.
Off day of May 7th.
They're
wow.
going-
So
they're-
on a road trip still, they're going to fire him.
And we're about to play. No team is easy right now for the Mets, but this is supposed to be a very soft spot in the schedule. Twins, Rockies, Nationals, Angels, Rockies.
And all of those teams have better records than us.
I think if everyone in baseball has better record than us. We've lost 11 games in a row. I think if he can't he gets it. Also, the flip side of this, I feel bad talking about Mendoza in this way. The flip side of this is that if you were going to make a change and you want to make your team get hot, like who said that? Was that Pinella? Was that Billy Martin? Where he said you always have the closed door meeting, like when your ace was pitching the next day.
Oh yeah, I think that was Billy Martin.
Yeah, this is a good time to do something like that.
Yeah, I think Mendoza's not managing on Tuesday. I think it might be over for him.
Well, if that happens tonight, we'll hop back on here and give you guys basically a new episode. Flush this one down the toilet, but
I think it'll get announced tomorrow.
Right.
You gotta let him land, go home, and then say don't come back.
Just like
the doors are locked. What did they do? Was it to
Jamal Adams?
Yes, Jamal Adams. They took away his player key card.
And this is Joe Pesci from Goodfellas. Like, yeah, come in, you're gonna get made, huh? Some things went wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Some things. 5 months of things went wrong. Let us know in the comment section. You guys think Carlos Mendoza is managing on Tuesday? Don't forget to subscribe to Mets'd Podcast on YouTube if you're listening to us. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google. Drops a rating, drops a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Draft Nick Mark. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. I can't even in good faith say let's go Mets.
Let's go, Mets. See you guys next time.
This is so sad.